Hey guys, welcome to Gunpla News episode 33 for September 2017, and I'm on this side of the room today. I just kind of want to change it up. Still not really happy about this background. I kind of wish I had a recording space for doing videos like this with a little bit better background, but just not really enough room in here. Everywhere is just kind of filled with stuff. So anyway, got my good buddy here, and we're going to do Gunpla News for this month. So like it's been for the past couple months, I'm going to have all 5 parts in one video here, and then the time codes will be down below in information if you want to skip around to whichever parts of more interest for you. So first I'm going to talk about just some news related to Gundam and Gunpla. Second part, I'm going to talk about some announcements of some kits and figures that have been announced over the past month. Third part is updates on kits and figures that we already knew were coming out. Fourth part is just a little bit of news on some third-party and resin stuff. And then the last part is features. Got a few of those, some pretty cool feature kits to share with you guys this month. So stay tuned for that at the end. Let's get right into the news. So the first bit of news is Bandai, seemingly out of nowhere, just overnight, they revealed their 1:1 scale Zeta Plus C1 there at the Gundam base Tokyo, there in Tokyo. We all knew they were building the Unicorn, but who knew that they were building this huge Zeta Plus as well? That thing looks really cool. Can't wait to check that out. Or, wait a minute. Oh yeah, that's just Josh's GBWC build. Gotcha. Yeah, shout out to Josh, who did a really good job with that photoshopping there. Taking pictures of his awesome build and then just kind of photoshopping it to make it look like it's in Daiba. That was really cool, and it seemed like a few people actually got tricked by that online, that Bandai just made that out of nowhere. Yeah, right? But on to the real 1:1 scale figure that is being built there by Bandai. And kind of, should I call it a figure? I don't know. That's weird. But the 1:1 scale Unicorn Gundam, of course, that I didn't think was going to transform, but apparently it is going to at least partially transform. I guess not fully, but it is going to at least partially transform. And we've actually seen some videos of them testing some parts of the transformation, which looks really cool. And we've seen them testing some of the lighting of the cycle frame and everything as well, which also looks pretty amazing. I think from some angles, the face looks a little bit derpy, to be honest, but I think it is going to be obviously pretty awesome to see. And just the size, I mean, the 1:1 scale Gundam was huge, but this one is going to be larger. So, man, it's going to be really impressive. I can't wait to see that. It's going to open again on September 24th, so just a few weeks away. Aside from a bunch of Gundam-based Tokyo exclusives that I've talked about, and it's basically all just like clear color versions and metallic gloss injection versions, things like that, we did get one more announcement of something new coming to the Gundam-based Tokyo. Drum roll, this is really cool. It is the Action Base 1 and 2 blue versions. So yeah, I mean, if you ever wanted one of your same old action bases now molded in blue, you're going to have to fly to Tokyo and pick one up from the Gundam base Tokyo. That's pretty exciting, right? Bandai is a real people pleasers. So speaking of exclusive stuff, though, there is going to be some exclusive kits at the 57th All Japan Hobby and Model and Hobby Show. Yeah, that's going to be on from September 30th to October 1st. They're going to have a couple of new exclusive kits that they announced there. The first one is the Master Grade Unicorn Gundam Metallic Gloss Injection version for 5,400 yen, so it's just the standard Unicorn Master Grade kit there. And then the HG Armblood Orphans Kimaris Vidar, it's kind of the clear color version of that, which is, I've seen some reactions from posting that on Facebook that seems like a lot of people are actually excited about that. I know usually clear color kits are kind of hit or miss. Usually some people are into it, but most really seem kind of not, but apparently people are thinking that it looks pretty cool. And then the last one is the HG Petite Guy and Placard in unicorn colors. It's unicorn white and placard, so it's just basically white with red aspects for that, for the secondary color anyway, and it's the Petite Guy with the placard, which is there. Anyway, so yeah, those 3 kits, that one is going to be 500 yen, sorry for that. So those 3 kits are going to be exclusive on sale there. If you aren't in Japan, which probably most of you are not, you'll have to go through some third-party seller to get those. A little bit of news here related to the Gundam Thunderbolt Bandit Flower, which is the compilation of the 4 episodes of Season 2 of Gundam Thunderbolt. That is going to be coming out soon. In November 18th is when it's going to premiere in Japan. And I talked about that last month, but what is new is that apparently there's also going to be a screening in New York City. So I haven't seen an exact date or anything about that, but it says I read that it's at a live event of Mr. Seki Kikuchi. I don't know what that's all about, but if you guys are living in New York or around New York, I'll try to get some more information about that, but as of yet, that's really all I saw. I really don't know what that means, but you have a little bit of time. That's not coming out until November, so there's still more time to find out some more information about that. But if you're living in New York, you will have the chance to see that in the theater, which would be pretty awesome. And apparently the Blu-ray and DVD sets that are going to be coming out for that are also going to have English subs and English dubbing on there as well. So if you want to pick up the CD, DVD or Blu-ray of that later, that'll be pretty cool. But speaking of, there was announcements for some new DVD and Blu-ray releases coming to North America, so people in North America will be able to enjoy some of those new ones there. There's the Gundam Wing, new version of Gundam Wing. It's this huge box set that comes with like books and discs and like posters and all kinds of stuff, so it's going to be really expensive, I'm sure, but that is going to be out in November. And then also they're going to be releasing G Gundam as well, so newly released versions of G Gundam. That's going to be next year though. They haven't released an exact date, but sometime 2018. And then also Seed and Seed Destiny are getting new English dubs, so if you like really hated the voice acting on Seed and Seed Destiny, hopefully maybe the new English dubbing will be a little bit better. So that will also be coming next year, and then they'll be releasing the new like CD. I keep wanting to say CDs, DVDs, and Blu-rays of those. And on the DVDs and Blu-rays, they said that there will be the option to choose the original voice English dubbing or the new English dubbing. So you'll, if you're like really nostalgic, you still can listen to both on there if you end up picking that up. And the last little bit of news is that a new manga will be starting in Gundam Ace magazine. It's going to be in their November issue, but that actually comes out at the end of this month, at the end of September. So September 25th is when the magazines come out in Japan, and so that's actually the November issue, but it's going to feature this new manga called Mobile Suit Moon Gundam. So it's pretty cool. It's got a couple of writers on there. One of the writers was one of the writers for Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn, as well as MSVR, the manga for that. And then the mechanical designer for this new series is going to be the mechanical designer from Iron Blooded Orphans, apparently. So you can find their names and everything, more information about them online, but just giving you guys just the quick and dirty details there. But that should be pretty interesting if you imagine the story of Unicorn with the mechanical designs of Iron Blood Orphans. It looks pretty awesome. So far all we can see is just the title, which looks pretty cool. It looks kind of a little bit retro to it, so I kind of like that. And then also we can see one kind of destroyed Gundam head there, which looks like a pretty standard Gundam head, except for it's got like this weird spoiler fin kind of thing going off the back of the head. Gundam Age got a lot of heat for having a spoiler on the backpack, so this one, I don't know, having those fins like off the back of the head definitely looks like something out of Iron Blood Orphans, sort of, that kind of feature of that anyway, so you can see where that mechanical design is coming into that. So it should be interesting. We'll have to see how well the manga does. If it's really cool, you know, we might see some kits out of that, or eventually maybe anime serialization of that, who knows, but I'm excited to see what it's about. Alright, so getting into the announcements. So the first couple things is actually more action-based news, but in this case it's a little bit more exciting because it's actually new action bases. The Action Base 4 and 5 are coming out. Still no news of them actually releasing that action base that was released with the Phoenicia Renashita, that master grade action base that's come out with a few kits now, but Bandai doesn't want to sell that on its own for some reason, despite it being such a great action base. I don't know, but anyway, Action Base 4 is going to be only available in black. This one's going to be out in December for 600 yen, and basically what it is, it's giving you a few like little platforms there, and then one like support arm for that you can use. And the support arm actually looks really good. The way that it's designed, it looks like it should actually give you a really good range of uses for that, so that's nice, but it's kind of a lot of space. I kind of wish that they would have given you 2 support arms for that, if this is kind of a larger set, having multiple different plates for the base plate for it, and it looks like there's like a lot of different places you can plug in these arms, so that's a little bit annoying. I definitely wouldn't have minded paying 200 or 300 yen, even like 800 or 900 yen for this if it had multiple arms in there. That definitely would have been better. But there's also going to be Action Base 5, which is going to be the exact same thing, but only one of the small little base plates and then just one arm. So basically, if you want to have more than one arm, you just have to buy multiple of the Action Base 5. The Action Base 5 is going to be available in black and also clear though. So if you want to clear, you can get that as well. I'm sure later on we'll probably see it in multiple different colors and things like that as well, but this is kind of just the initial launch of this. So the single one would be cheaper, 500 yen, and the Action Base 4, which comes with multiple base plates, is a little bit more expensive for 600 yen. So it's yeah, you kind of have to think about kind of which you want to go for them. It's a little bit more expensive, more base plates, but no extra arm, or just basic what you need and a little bit cheaper. So I don't know. But those are interesting. It's nice to see something new coming out in the world of action bases other than just a blue recolor. Next thing is the Gundam Fixed Figuration Metal Composite Wing Zero Custom EW. So I don't really know why they went for the Wing Zero Custom EW. They usually kind of go for one or the other. But this one is going to be coming out in February for 27,000 yen. So like with these type of figures, it's not really the cheapest thing, but it looks really nice. I mean, this is very similar to what they did with the XS Gundam, where it basically looked like it's kind of the best physical like iteration of it that you can buy. Really, it looks so good like that, but it's just really expensive. So that's the thing. Kind of makes you wonder why they couldn't make the master grade look like that, unfortunately. But it does look really, really good. And the nice thing about this too is that it also comes with the Dre's Werg parts, so all 6 kind of parts of the Dre's Werg, and it actually comes with some. They can actually do a little bit more than what they did in the plastic model kit form for the real grade way back when, which you had to get like. It was in a magazine that was separate. There's a whole other separate thing, and that just was kind of a separate thing. But now it's included with this, so that's cool. Yeah, I think this was actually kind of already sort of previewed or something that this was kind of already announced, I think, last month, but I missed it or something. I don't think I talked about it in last month's episode, so that's why I'm talking about it now. But anyway, it's still a ways off, so you've got some time to save up your money if this is something you really want to go for. It does look really, really nice, but it's just really expensive. Next, the Exceed model Gundam head. So I recently did a video on the Exceed model Zaku head. They're now got their 3rd series of that coming out pretty soon. But there's also going to be a Gundam head now coming out. So far we've just seen the rough prototype of that, and it does look pretty rough, but the proportions and all the details and everything look super, super nice. So I'm sure these are going to sell really, really well for Bandai. But we haven't seen which versions of the head they're going to do. So like with the Zaku, they did them 3 at a time, 3 in a set of 3 different versions. So assuming they're going to do the same thing with the Gundam head, I would say probably obviously the normal RX-78-2 head, and then maybe a Casval's Gundam or Prototype Gundam. I don't know. There's a few different other versions with basically the same head that, and then there's other versions that they could just do very minor modifications like they do with the Zaku heads. They're just really minor differences that are pretty easy to do. So we'll have to see where that goes, but I'm sure those are going to sell really well. I definitely want to get one because they look really nice. But anyway, moving on to Gundam Converge. Gundam Converge EX-19 Devil Gundam will be out in December for 3,200 yen. So the God Gundam is coming out with the set. So what number is that? No, whatever set is coming out in the near future anyway. And so they had to make a Devil Gundam as well too, but it's very large, so they had to make it in the EX series where it's kind of its own separate thing, and it's a little bit more expensive. I've reviewed a few of those. I think the most recent one was the Shamblo that was out in June, I think, and so got that, and that is up over there. Anyway, but I really love these, so I already got this pre-ordered. I'm always just waiting for Bandai to announce the next Converge figures so I can pre-order on Hobby Link Japan. So that's where I get mine. If you guys want to pre-order this, I don't know, but they do kind of sell out pretty fast, so it might be on order stop already. You'd have to check. Again, this isn't coming out until December, so you do have some time to find a way to pre-order it if you definitely want to get it. And then one more bit of Converge news is there's also going to be a P-Bandai Gundam Converge God Gundam in Hyper Mode. This one is coming out in the same month in December, but for 2,000 yen. So it's just the one God Gundam in Hyper Mode. They're all gold and blinged out, and with the big ring accessory for the back. You can actually choose if you want to have like the fin things, wings on the back, like just folded down, or opened up with the ring there. And the cool thing is this also comes with parts for just the regular Converge God Gundam, the one that's not in Hyper Mode. If you want to put the ring on the back of that one, this one includes parts for that, which are just the parts for the backpack that are not in Hyper Mode, so you can use the ring with that. So that's really cool. It's a P-Bandai thing though, so it's going to be more expensive, and it's already expensive for the list price, 2,000 yen, plus any sort of fees you have to pay to get that through some proxy seller or something is going to be really, probably very expensive for what it is. It does look cool, but you gotta be a really big G Gundam fan, I think, to probably get that one. Alright, moving on, because we actually have like a million more P-Bandai things to talk about. They're just going crazy with all the P-Bandai releases lately. But this one's pretty funny. It's the P-Bandai Napping Arm Pillow Cushion Series. So this is some like pillows you wear on your arm and you can take a nap or play with them or whatever. So they got 3 different ones for the Juagu, the Agai, and the Ag. So these are like the really obscure like MSV Mobile Suit Zeon designs that are really weird, and they're making pillow arms of them. So these are going to be coming out in November for 4,000 yen each, so they're not cheap either. 4,000 yen is like 35, 40 bucks for an arm pillow. Yeah, that's pretty expensive. That's not a set of two, that's just for one. But man, a pillow with tentacles for arms coming from Japan, just, well, yeah, when they're already shooting promotional images like this, you can kind of guess where that's going. Next is the P-Bandai Master Grade Justice Gundam Special Coating version. This is coming out in November for 9,000 yen. And it's just the Justice Gundam, which is a really nice kit. And it looks like the base that comes with that is also a little bit different. Just from the photos, it's kind of hard to tell, but it looks like the base is in kind of like a slightly translucent, like dark clear. So I don't know about that exactly, but it looks like that in the photos anyway. And basically it's just kind of a very shiny, specially coated kit. So it looks like the main mobile suit is just kind of like gloss injected and then like has a really glossy finish sprayed on top of it. And then the backpack is actually kind of plated, is what it looks like in the photos. It's really expensive, but I think if you don't paint, then that would be pretty cool to get. If you don't paint, but you're a really big fan of the Justice Gundam and you just want something to look kind of really shiny and cool on your shelf, then that would look pretty cool, but it is expensive. But they did the same thing with the Freedom Gundam 2.0, so it wasn't really that big of a surprise. The P-Bandai Master Grade GM Command Space Type is coming out in November for 3,700 yen. I was kind of on the fence whether I wanted to pre-order this. It came onto the Korean P-Bandai website and I went to order it and it was already sold out after 3 days. So yeah, this didn't last long for pre-orders here in Korea anyway, but apparently it's going to be pretty popular kits. So I was just, yeah, I don't know. I could just pre-order it from Samuel Decal, just pay a little bit more because it's basically have to come shipped from Hong Kong then at that point, but I don't know, between already having the regular GM Sniper 2 and then this GM Sniper Custom is coming out, I'm probably alright on that kit. I mean, it's a really cool variant of that, and it looks really nice. I especially just really like the gun for the most part, and it might end up being one of those kits that I regret not ordering, but I think I'll live. There's also going to be a P-Bandai RG Build Strike Gundam in RG System Image Color. It's basically clear color, as it's otherwise known as. This is going to be coming out in November for 2,700 yen, so I think that's about the same price as just the standard kit, if not a little bit more or the same. But it's going to be a P-Bandai cut, but it's also going to be available at Gundam Base Tokyo, so if you are going to be in Japan or if you are having someone that's going to Japan or something, they can just pick this up directly at Gundam Base Tokyo. I don't know how well they're going to be supplied with the kit there, but imagine the stuff that's on sale at Gundam Base Tokyo, usually they have in pretty good supply, and that kind of stuff is usually sold online for not that much more expensive because it's not as limited as a solely premium Bandai kit. And then next we have a few new HG Build Fighters kits that were announced in P-Bandai anyway. P-Bandai HG Build Fighters Gundam Fenice Liberta is going to be coming out in November for 2,000 yen. So this one doesn't really look that different. The main mobile suit really looks kind of mostly the same. It just basically has like a different backpack and different back skirt because all the wing things that you see like off the back is actually just directly like off the back skirt of it, which is kind of interesting. It's an interesting thing, but I think the more interesting aspect of this is that it also transforms into a tricycle with pink wheels. They're supposed to be beam effects, but they just look like pink wheels. Pretty stupid, to be honest. I think it's probably okay that this came out as a P-Bandai kit, because I don't know how many people would really get too excited about that. Maybe there's a lot more people into it than I think, but it doesn't really seem like that would really be that popular as a standard release. On the other hand, I could see a lot more people excited about this next one, the P-Bandai high-grade Gundam Build Fighters Gundam X Jumao. So this is basically just another version of the X Gundam Crossbone X Gundam Mao thing. Anyway, the next iteration of that. This one is also out in November, but for a little bit cheaper, 1,800 yen for this, and basically it's just like a version of the Gundam X, but it's got these little derpy looking pods on its arms and legs, which also point forward, and there's also beam cannons. It's got 4 beam cannons that go from the back. The giant X for the backpack turns into 4 big beam cannons, and it's got beam cannons on the arms and legs, and it just does this all beam cannon. It's just a beam cannoned out. But I'm sure that thing is going to be a huge mess of stickers. I'm just not into the design at all, so this is another P-Bandai kit that was very easily passed by me, but I can imagine that one's probably a little bit more popular. But perhaps not quite as popular as this third one is the HG Build Fighters Psycho Gym. So basically what they've done is just taken the HG UC Psycho Gundam and just given you a new head for that. And the head, it really looks like kind of a little bit like a GM Quell head, but it looks pretty cool. I mean, this does look really nice. I think they've done a really good job with the promotional images to make it look really cool. But the HGUC Psycho Gundam is a pretty old kit. It's not really well articulated and has a lot of seam lines, and it's just a pretty old and big chunky kit. But they've done a pretty good job of making it look cool and getting people really excited about this. Kit isn't cheap either. It's 6,000 yen for this, so it's very big, you have to remember. So I mean, it looks pretty cool, but this one as well, not for me. Next thing is the P-Bandai HG Armbillet Orphans Gray's Ground Type Twin Set, out in November for 3,200 yen. Now this set really just kind of makes me frustrated with Bandai, because if they would have just released just the Gray's Ground Type as a premium Bandai kit, just on its own, just on its own, that would have been perfectly fine. I think that that's what they should have done, or just made it just a standard release, just the Gray's Ground Type as a simple release. They had a lot of different variations of the Grays that they released as standard release kits, but the Gray's type, the Grounds type, I think, make it a P-Bandai kit, that's fine, whatever. But what they chose to do is give you the parts to make the ground type, but you have to buy the base kit plus a couple of option part sets. So to the people who got really excited that like, oh, I can finally make a Gray's ground type, well, you're probably going to end up paying almost the exact same price as if they just made that kit just on its own as a P-Bandai kit. Then you can just buy it all just in one set like that. Or if they made it just a standard release, it would have been cheaper. So that's why I really didn't like that last option set that they put out, whereas the parts like for the ground type Grays and the landbound Rody, I think they should have just released the landbound Rody as well. Make it a P-Bandai kit or make it a standard release, but just release that as a whole kit on itself, so you don't have to buy the regular Minority kit and plus the option part set and then have that. And then the Sharp Victor Gay Rail as well. That one you had to buy like 2 different option sets plus the Gay Rail kit to be able to make that, and it's just like, just make that its own kit, and then that will just be so much better. This is so really annoying, frustrating. It really doesn't matter, but I mean, just the fact that they're now releasing the ground type as a P-Bandai kit now so much later, and it's a set of 2 of them, like, what's the point? They should just release that earlier as its own kit. I don't know, it's stupid. So basically, you're probably going to end up paying about the same, whether you buy this set as a P-Bandai set or just buy the standard kits plus the option parts that you need for that. You're probably going to end up paying about the same. So whatever. This next thing though is exactly what a P-Bandai kit should be, is the HG Gundam The Origin MSD version of the Gundam Local Type in rollout colors. So all this is basically the Gundam Local Type, black Local Type, North American one that we're getting out pretty soon, and this is just change the colors of this and gave it some new stickers. That's it. That is the perfect P-Bandai kit because it doesn't actually have any new parts. It's just a color swap thing. It's just for collectors and people who don't paint and people who just want to collect this kind of exclusive stuff. So anyway, this one, yeah, it's 2,000 yen for this, and like I said, it's just molded in a yellowish color, and it has all these cool, the markings look really cool. If that was water slides, I'd actually probably consider buying that because those markings would be pretty awesome, but unfortunately, they're just going to be sticker decals, so And then the last 2 P-Bandai kits are actually 2 more variations of the HGUC Jagen, which we didn't have enough of already. But on the plus side, if you haven't ordered some of the past P-Bandai variants of the Jagen, they're reissuing a bunch of those, if not all of them. So it's a good chance to get any of those past variations of the Jagen that came out as P-Bandai kits. They'll be doing some more runs of those. But the new ones here are the HGUC Jagen Burnham Core version. So this is from Gundam Twilight Axis, and this one's coming out in November for 1,800 yen. So basically it's all in purple, and it has basically a new weapon, that's it. So the new weapon is that beam lance, which looks really cool. I think it looks, I mean, it's very unique. It's a really unique looking weapon for sure. Other than that, I mean, it's pretty much just the standard HGUC Jagen. The other one is the P-Bandai HGUC Jagen Pico Altidore version. This one, I'm not sure, I think it's from a manga or something. I don't know, but I'm not really familiar with that. But basically all this one is just the regular Jagen. Now it's molded in black, and it comes with 2 rifles instead of 1, and it also comes with the bazooka from the Jagen Echoist type. As far as I can tell, that's pretty much it. I don't think it has a new head or anything with this version. It's just kind of different weapons that this one comes with, and again, it's molded in black. So that's why this one is a little bit cheaper for 1,600 yen for this one, also coming out in November. But now we can finally get into the standard release stuff. So as I mentioned before, the Master Grade GM Sniper Custom is coming out. This is going to be out in November for 4,000 yen. Really excited about this because the GM Sniper 2 was such a great kit. There's certain things about this design that I'm not really that into. For the most part, I like it a lot. The beam rifle, the sniper rifle, it looks a little bit wimpy. It doesn't really look very intimidating. It basically looks pretty much similar to the Gelgoog beam rifle, which is just kind of the standard rifle. So for this to being like especially sniper kit, to have just kind of a really wimpy, basic looking rifle is not very exciting. Also the head, I think I'm probably not alone in thinking that just the head just doesn't look very cool, kind of mask thing, and then the thing that comes down over the visor and it basically just blocks. We were talking about this, I think, on like last episode of Gunpla News, where the visor just blocks like most of the visor and just like there's just one little part open. It's just kind of weird looking. It's very retro looking for sure. So I think it'll be a really cool kit, but there's things that I like and dislike about it. And we also got a new announcement of a new real grade kit. So the next real grade is going to be the RG Johnny Ridden's High Mobility Type Zaku 2. So basically, pretty certain this is going to be taking the original real grade Zaku kit and using parts of that and the frame of that, and then just we're going to have now all the high mobility type parts. So I'm sure we're going to get plenty of P-Bandai variants of this kit as well, and so that should be interesting, but we're getting the Johnny Ridden's version first. This one also going to be out in November for 3,000 yen, and here's just a little theory that I have, is that the new real grade's coming out. It's pretty much based on an old kit for the most part, just some new parts for that and a new weapon. And then the new Master Grade kit that's coming out is also based on an old kit, just with some new parts and some new weapons. So it kind of seems like Bandai is really not putting their full effort into the new real grade, the new Master Grade, which is fine. You know, we kind of wish for something a little bit more new and exciting when we get some new kits. I mean, not that those two kits aren't new and exciting, they're cool, but what I think is that Bandai is devoting a lot more of their time and effort to something else, and that's why they're putting out this real grade and this Master Grade kit that are just kind of easy releases for them, not really that complicated. They don't have to go like completely back to the drawing board on them, because I think they're just devoting their resources to something else. Now, obviously, the Perfect Grade Millennium Falcon is just on the way, so I'm sure that's soaked up a lot of Bandai's resources in developing that and putting out that kit as well. But I don't know, I just have a theory that they are working on some other new Gunpla kit, if not like a big new Master Grade, maybe for the end of the year, or a new Perfect Grade or something. I have a feeling that they've got a lot of their resources devoted to somewhere else, and that's why some of these new releases seem a little bit lackluster in terms of bringing something like really new and exciting to the table. But anyway, speaking of exciting, I am really excited about this kit. This is not really all that new either, but it is really cool. The HG, the Origin MSD Zaku Half Cannon. So again, this is pretty much just, for the most part, going to be kind of the same HG Origin Zaku kit that we've now got like 12 of. But this one is the Half Cannon version, and it has that just awesome MSV look to it. It looks so cool. I really like this a lot. Really looking forward to this. It has a couple different options for the cannon. It has like a regular cannon and then like a big Gatling gun as well, so that's cool. People like that. And then you can choose whether you want to have I thought they were like missile launchers, but I saw online they were calling them something else, like big guns or something. I thought they were missile launchers. Anyway, the things that like go on the back and kind of go around to the side, and you can hold on to those like that. So it's got those as well. You can choose to just do one in the Gatling gun, or two in the cannon, or none. So it has some options there, and it's using the chest of the new chest from the new Zaku 2, the standard green one that's coming out. So anyway, it looks really cool. The stickers, all the markings look really cool. Unfortunately, they're going to be just sticker markings, but who knows, hopefully they'll do another waterside decal set, including some decals for this kit. That would be really great. And next is the HGUC Blue Destiny Unit 2 Exam. So again, not really a very surprising kit. It's just basically the same kit as Blue Destiny 1 with a handful of new parts. This will probably have like one new runner with all the new parts on it. It'll probably be a new 4-color runner, like a new big 4-color runner with all the new parts for the Unit 2 on it. Or thinking back to the Unit 1, all of the runners for Unit 1 were kind of like all mixed matched and all weirdly shaped and all over the place. So they were obviously planning on doing the other ones as well. I'm sure the Unit 3 will be coming out probably around the beginning of next year as well. If it's a P-Bandai kit or a regular release or not, we'll have to see. Nowadays, it's kind of hard to imagine Bandai putting out 3 different variations and they'll all be just standard release and they don't make any of them premium Bandai. That'd be kind of shocking, but who knows anyway. So like with the Unit 1, this one has different options for the eyes, whether you want to have exam mode active or inactive. And also has different options for the shoulders, whether you want to have the EFSF version, or I guess EFF version, or the Xeon version. So you can choose between that. And it was just kind of underwhelming. Yeah, underwhelming that this was the HGUC release, because before the C3 hobby show, Bandai like put out some like little teaser. They said like there's a new HGUC kit that they said was coming out and it was going to be the Knight of Xeon, basically like that. So obviously we think of something like the Gyan or some like knightly sort of Xeon pilot. I don't think that the Blue Destiny Unit 2 is something that a lot of people really thought of, but apparently that's what it is. Apparently like the Xeon pilot that pilots that is some sort of knight aspect to it. Again, I'm totally unfamiliar with the story, but someone told me that online, so yeah, that's not really what I had in mind, but okay. Next, a new Build Fighters kit that is actually not going to be P-Bandai, to I think a lot of people's happiness, is the HG Build Fighters Cherubim Gundam Saga Type GBF. That would be Gundam Build Fighters. This one's going to be out in November for 1,800 yen, and when I first saw this, I actually thought I was looking at just like prototype images because it's all gray, but that is just the actual color of it apparently. It's a pretty dull, uninteresting color, but I think it actually kind of suits it. It kind of looks okay. This kit actually looks pretty cool. I've never really been a big fan of the Dynamace or the Cherubim kind of Gundams that much before, but I know a lot of people are. There's kind of a lot to like about this kit if you like kits that have a lot of guns, and its guns are like really interestingly styled. I kind of like the look of them a lot, so this one will definitely be something that I'll be pretty interested to check out. Actually, it looks kind of nice. And then to go with that, there's going to be a new Build Custom set, the HG Build Custom 24th Century Weapons. So this is basically weapons to kind of go with that kit or whatever else you want, but they're definitely styled to kind of be paired up with the Cherubim Saga. So this one is out in November as well for 600 yen. Comes with like a few different types of rifles, like SMG kind of rifles and like longer rifles, and then it has like a really long rifle and a big sword as well. Gotta have a sword in there, of course. So yeah, that weapon set actually looks pretty cool as well. I can definitely see using some of those on some other kits. They probably work really well with the variety of different kits, so that weapon set should be pretty cool. And last couple things here, HG Petite Guy Pilot Series is the 00 Gundam Pilot Series, so it's basically 5 different color versions of the Petite Guy that also come with the placard one, and they're kind of styled for the 5 different pilots from Gundam 00. So it's kind of a Gundam 00 10th anniversary sort of thing that Bandai is doing. And interestingly, these aren't P-Bandai kits. I could have seen them releasing this as like a set of all 5 of them together as a P-Bandai set for like, what would that be? 2,700 yen or something like that. But these are going to be released individually, so you can buy whichever pilot you like and just normal releases. So it's kind of weird, but okay. And it looks like for the placards, they're going to have stickers with writing on them. And it looks like there's going to have English and Japanese. So you can have your choice. So like stickers on one side or the other, maybe English on one side, Japanese on the other. I don't know if it's going to have like just the plain sticker, like the standard release kit had. But if all Bandai is doing to celebrate Gundam 00 this year is this and a couple of P-Bandai releases, that's a little bit lackluster, but who knows? They kind of pick and choose when they want to do something to celebrate an anniversary of a series or not. Sometimes they do it quite a lot, like what they did with the Seed Master Grade kits. Other times they just don't really do much of anything. So who knows? They could still have something in store for the end of the year. I kind of think that they might, but at this point, who knows? If this is it, then that's probably a little bit disappointing for some people. Anyway, these are out in December. So end of the year, big kit is some petite guys. And the last thing here is the SD Legend BB Musha Gundam Mark III. This is out in November for 1,300 yen. So basically this is the same one that came with that previous kit, that Mark III Daishogun kit, but this one is just like kind of the simpler form of that. And I think this comes with just a new shield basically. It pretty much looks like it's all the same thing, but it just has a new shield if I remember that kit correctly. So it might be a little bit different, but for the most part, nothing really too new about that. And if that's right, anyway, I remember saying in that review that just that base Gundam, I thought, wow, that looks really cool. I wonder if like they're ever going to sell that just as a separate thing, because I could imagine some people would probably buy that just as its own separate thing if they sold that as just a separate kit. And it happened. Bandai watches my reviews. Who would have thought? I guess I need to be more specific about things to ask for in the future. But let's get into the updates, because this video is already going way longer than I expected it would be at this point. So, Metal Build 00 Quanta will be out in December for 2,700 yen. I've talked about that a lot in the last couple episodes, so won't get too much into that now. Anyway, just a reminder that that's coming out. As well as the Metal Build GN Sword 2 Blaster for 3,500 yen coming out in January. This is, again, just the new kind of weapons set for the GN, for the 00 Riser Metal Build kit. There's also going to be the Robot Damashi XK Signature Phaz out in October for 14,000 yen. Again, looks really cool. Really hoping that we get a Master Grade Phaz, with the new Double Zeta Verka coming out. And staying on the subject of Gundam Sentinel, the P-Bandai Metal Robot Damashi XS Gundam Task Force Alpha version is going to be out in December for 17,000 yen. Again, looks like a really, really fantastic figure of the XS Gundam. It's not like we don't have a few of those already, but wait, one more, a little XS love, never hurt anybody. And then some other robot damashis here. The GM Sniper Custom version anime is out in December for 5,500 yen, so kind of interesting that they're having the robot damashi and the master grade coming out roughly about the same time. The version anime robot damashi definitely has that really adorable look to it. It definitely looks like a really nice figure. But the master grade coming out being a little bit larger, a little bit cheaper, and a lot more fun, I think, to actually be able to build it yourself, I imagine the master grade probably going to sell a little bit better. And then one more, the Robot Damashi Zaku Mind Layer version anime is coming out in February for 5,500 yen. So last month we really didn't have any like actual images of this kit, but now we but now we have like all the full images of that, and it does look really cool. I love the look of these version anime Zakus. I actually have my first Robot Damashi kit actually on the way now. They had HLJ had a sale, and they had a bunch of these on sale. So I wanted to just get one just to check it out anyway, just see what they're all about, and I did get a version anime Full Armor Gundam, so that should be pretty cool. I'll check that out with you guys soon enough. In the meantime, yeah, these Zaku ones do look really nice as well. If I like the Full Armor Gundam, I may think about getting one of these other ones as well. The Gundam Converge EX18 XS Gundam is going to be out in October for 2,500 yen. Really looking forward to that one as well. Like I said, can't get enough of the XS Gundam, so why not get one more? This one does look really, really nice. So once that's all detailed up, panel lined and all of that, it's going to be really, really cool. And that's definitely going to be a space saver. I mean, the master grade's pretty huge, so this little XS Converge figure is going to be a lot better on the shelf, I think. Next, the Next Edge style Ale Strike Gundam is going to be out in October for 2,700 yen, just the standard one. Then there's also going to be the Next Edge style Perfect Strike Gundam out in the same month as well, but for 4,500 yen, so a lot more. But of course, it's got all this stuff for the Perfect Strike, so it's got the launcher pack and the sword pack and the perfect backpack and all of that. So whichever one you want, you'll have some options there. Next, the Next Edge style Phantom is going to be out in November for 3,500 yen for that. Again, looks pretty awesome. All the effect parts and everything on that look really cool. I'm just going to hold out for a kit. I'm still hoping Bandai will eventually someday make a model kit of that. Who knows, but I've got my fingers crossed. I can wait for that anyway. And then the Next Edge style XS Gundam still don't have any price or release date except for this, but again, more XS Gundam. Who doesn't like that? The Mobile Suit Ensemble set number 4 is going to be out in November for 500 yen each. This is including the new Gundam, the heavy weapon system set for the new Gundam, the Camphor, the Woundwort, the fin funnel, and Camphor weapon set for that would be fin funnels and weapons for both the new Gundam and the Camphor kind of. So there's basically 4 different sets in there. So some pretty cool stuff. And then there's the special P-Bandai Mobile Suit Ensemble TR6 Woundwort and Dandelion 2 set. So this thing, we are now finally seeing some full color images of this, and it does look really cool. I highly doubt we're ever going to get any model kit of the Dandelion 2. The Woundwort, maybe someday, but the Dandelion 2, probably not. So I was really kind of thinking about buying this, but then I saw the price, and this is going to be coming out in January for 7,800 yen. So I understand it's going to be pretty large, like large-ish, not that big, but for $70 for that is no, yeah, that's just too much for that for me. So I mean, if that's all right for you, man, go for it. Like I said, I don't think we're ever going to get a model kit of that, unfortunately. There are resin kits, but you know, yeah, that's just really sad because I really kind of wanted to get that, but that's just too expensive for what it is. I mean, like, I can afford it, but I wouldn't feel good about paying that much for something like that. There is another set on the way, but haven't seen any new updates on that, but it is the Mobile Suit Ensemble Gedlav, and I narrad some stuff from V Gundam there, so getting pretty obscure with these Mobile Suit Ensemble figures, but hey. We have the P-Bandai Master Grade Zaku 2 High Mobility Type Brenneth Olga's Custom. This one's coming out in October for 4,500 yen, so next in the Ace Pilot Log series of like kind of MSV versions of the Zaku's there. And then the P-Bandai Master Grade Gundam Sandrock Custom EW, also out in October for 4,800 yen. Again, I talked a lot about that last month, so I won't really get into it at this month, but yeah, I didn't pre-order that, so I won't be getting that kit or reviewing that, so don't ask me to review it. But I'm sure you guys know what it is. It's just the same Master Grade Sandrock EW that we saw, and it just has some new parts, so it's not really too much to review there. Next thing is the P-Bandai HG Zeta Gundam Wave Shooter Equipment Type. This one as well, I talked about a lot last month. It's going to be coming out in October for 2,000 yen. It's basically just the same HG Gunpla Evolution Project Zeta, which came out not too long ago and was a really nice kit. I actually really highly recommend that kit. It does have some flaws, basically in the backpack being a little bit too sticker heavy, I think, but this kit probably going to have that same issue because it's just got some new backpack parts and kind of a new shield, which will probably just also be of the same quality as the rest of the kit and be a little bit sticker heavy. Next, the P-Bandai HG Revive Strike Freedom DX edition. So it's just the deluxe edition of the Revive Strike Freedom. This one's out in October for 3,800 yen. It's just the Strike Freedom kit, but the gold frame is actually gold plated now. And then it comes with a bunch of effect parts for that. So it does, like I said, it's a pretty nice kit if you like that. If you're like a fan of the Strike Freedom, then this will be a pretty cool set. And this does come with the Gundam, so if you haven't picked up the Gundam yet, or if you already have one, then you, I don't know if you'd really want to pay that much to get a second one, but if you haven't got it, this is a really good chance to get it and get it like a really nice version of that. A lot of times those effect parts sets are like just the effect parts on its own. You got to get the kit separately, which is fine, but it's cool they're putting this out just all as one thing. Next thing is the P-Bandai HG Build Fighters Amazing Zigok. Can't wait for that. Looks really cool. Like I said last month, I really like especially the arms of that. Not really sure exactly if I'm going to keep it with that kit, or maybe later I'll decide to maybe kit bash it with the RG or give those arms to some other kit. I don't know. There's options. I've actually considered ordering like 2 of these just because I really like the arms so much, but I'll just stick with 1 for now. I'm sure I'll have to find something cool to do with that. Also, the HG Build Fighters Chinyagai coming out in October for 2,400 yen. I just recently reviewed the Chinyagai there for you guys. It's a pretty alright kit. This is basically just a recolor with a few extra parts to make it black cat themed rather than yellow bear themed. So if that's something you're into, then you can go for that. And then the HG The Origin Black Local Type Gundam American Front version, North American Front version. So again, just basically the same thing as the previously released Gundam Local Type kit, but now it has parts for a new backpack, basically. And it has the backpack, kind of the most notable feature of the backpack is it has the kind of over-the-shoulder cannon like the Master Grade Gundam The Origin had. So I'm really looking forward to this. Unfortunately, those cool markings on it are just going to be stickers, so it's basically just going to be just very black, just straight out of the box, but a little bit of painting and adding some fresh water slides on that. It should look really nice. Last couple things here from Build Fighters. The HG Gundam Build Fighters Reversible Gundam coming out in October for 1,800 yen. I'm actually really looking forward to this one as well. Like I said before, I've never really been that much a fan of the Reborn's Gundam, but I actually really like this new kind of version of this. And it's a lot more interesting looking, and especially I think the color scheme helps out a lot. I really like this new color scheme. Between this and the Cherubim Saga, they're actually kind of matching color schemes. Are they from the same team? I haven't watched the new Battle Log episodes or anything, so I don't know about that. But based on the fact that they're very similar color schemes, it makes me wonder if they're on the same team. Anyway, the last thing is the HG Build Custom Ballistic Weapons out in October as well for 600 yen. So October is actually going to have a lot of high-grade stuff coming out. But anyway, that'll be fun. This weapon set looks pretty cool. It's some interesting weapons there, physical and ballistic weapons there, mostly for the Origin Zaku, as we saw in the anime, but you can use this stuff for whatever, so that'll be an interesting weapon set, I think, with some nice variety of different options. Alright, so that's done. Let's get into the third-party stuff. Luckily, I only have a little bit of stuff to talk about here in the third-party. Between Daban and Dragon Momoko, they're both like battling it out between all the Exia different versions, Metal Build and Avalanche Exia and all that stuff. That you guys know about that. I don't really feel like I really need to talk about any of that stuff. If you're interested, just order that from Samuel Decal. One thing that I will talk about here is a 1/100 scale Barbatos Dragon King conversion kit from Model Bingo. Model Bingo is a name I've heard before, but I haven't heard anything about really the quality or anything, so I can't really vouch for that. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about how well their quality is, but this resin conversion kit is should be released pretty soon. I think it's like just starting to be shipped, but this is $60 for this. So basically you need to have the 1/100 scale Barbatos Lupus Rex, and then this is a conversion set for that. It makes it quite a bit taller, and it gives it like 4 tails instead of 1, and it has like a new part to make that ridiculously big and heavy, like giant, what was it called, mace? Anyway, they're making it even bigger and heavier by adding a huge sword blade onto it. So it looks interesting. It's totally not to my taste at all. I'm not into that at all. But I know some of you guys out there are probably looking at that thinking that it looks pretty awesome. So if you want to pre-order that, I think you can pre-order that through Samuel Decal. There's other websites as well. Of course, if you just search like Barbatos Dragon King Resin Conversion Kit, I'm sure you can find places to pre-order that online or just buy it straight up, like I said, because I think it has started to ship out already. And the other thing I just wanted to briefly show you guys is that unfortunately Mechanicor's huge, giant, perfect Xeon kit that they're calling the Ziegler has not shipped out yet. So as usual with Mechanicor, it's being delayed about a month or so. Hopefully it'll be shipping out soon. But they've kind of been slowly putting out some more sample images and things like that, showing that it is coming together and it looks quite nice, of course. But the one really most amazing image that they put out was the size of the box. The box is absolutely huge. The box is larger than the Tiefstormer box, their Deep Striker box, which was huge. That kit is like, that box is already bigger than pretty much any box that I have. It is the biggest box that I have, but this new one for the Ziegler is going to be even bigger, so it's going to be really, really huge. And yeah, I think Mechanicor kits are cool, but I really think they need to tone it down a little bit, because they're just getting bigger and bigger and crazier and crazier. They need to just take it back a little bit, you know, go something a little bit smaller is okay. They don't have to go bigger and better every time. I know that they probably have no trouble selling their kits, and they're probably making a good amount of money on them, and so that's great for them. But you know, I think taking it down a little bit, making it a little bit easier, a little bit more accessible with something a little bit smaller would probably be a good idea. So anyway, that should be hopefully shipping out in about a month or so. We'll have to see. And the last bit here is, of course, the features. So I've got 3 featured kits I want to show you guys this month. The first one is an HG Gyancelot painted build by atressfree. And you can see more pictures of this online. Again, the links for the different featured kits are down below in the information. You can check those out if you want to look at these pictures more up close and see them in more detail. So this one is nothing really too crazy in terms of the customization. Basically, it looks like he's just gone for different colors, of course, and a little bit different colors. Not too crazy on that either, and then giving it the kind of rifle lance weapon from the HG Iron Blood Orphans Grey's kits. So I think with it being a knight themed kit, giving it a lance weapon obviously makes sense. I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen someone do that before, but what I liked about this kit is just the simplicity. It's just really nice colors, everything's really, really clean and nice. He did some really great choices on changing the colors, again from just the standard stock color scheme of it, got rid of all the gold and just kind of made it a little bit more simple, a little more subtle, and just really nice. So this is the thing that I really like. I mean, I love really complicated and stuff, and like when they go in and add a whole bunch of detail and all this really nice weathering, like Naoki style, like really super little subtle weathering and all of that. That's a really awesome too. But then I really like stuff like this as well, where it's just like really simple, really nice colors, just simple mods, clean, everything looks really cool. I dig that a lot, so that's really cool too. I like these. So definitely check that out, again, in the link down below. Next one is a little bit different from that one, because this is the PG 00 Riser custom build by XDriver681. So this one, it looks like basically what he's done is taken the clear parts for the Perfect Grade Riser that recently came out a couple months ago, and he's just painted over the clear parts, but just done some masking to keep a lot of bits of the clear left there, and then just did a whole bunch of LED wiring in the kit. So it's just like a Christmas tree of a Gundam, and it looks pretty awesome. I think if you just described this to me, I would think, oh, that's kind of campy, but man, it looks really cool. I have to admit, that looks really, really cool. So yeah, it's just all these different LED colors all over it, and it just looks really impressive. I think it's unfortunate that I haven't seen any photo like showing the full kit. It's all these like close-up images. It'd be really cool to see like what the kit actually looks like, where you can see the whole thing all at once. Or I would love the chance to be able to see that kit in person. I don't think that's probably ever going to happen, but to be able to see that in person would be really cool, just to kind of see all of that. And so it's really cool how he did that. It's a really interesting use of using clear armor parts in that way. So that's a pretty cool idea. And the last thing here is my other love, and that is these SD x HG crossover builds. So this one is a SD x HG Sinanju custom build by TTI0719. And so he's basically, yeah, across the HG Sinanju with the head of, I would assume that's probably the head from the SD X Standard kit, not the BB Senshi kit. The X Standard kit, I think, the head looks a little bit more mean, but he's got two heads actually on it. So he has one of the heads he made in like the damaged Sinanju face, where it takes the bazooka to the face. So that's really cool. I love the look of that head. I still want to do some version of the Sinanju where it has the face like that. I think it looks really cool. So this one, he also has it in like really kind of a little bit dark red candy coating sort of on that, and it looks really nice as well. I've seen the Sinanju in pretty much every color under the rainbow, but I think this is kind of one of my favorite colors to see it in. It always looks nice in this really dark candy color painting like that. So it just makes me think, yet again, I just really need to try my hand at making one of these kits like this, because I love them so much. They're really cool looking, and this, for me, it's much better looking than just an SD by itself. But it's obviously somewhere between an HG and an SD, so it still has like kind of that cuteness of the SD, but still very tough looking because it's still mostly an HG scale. So it's cool. I like those a lot. So that's it for this month's episode of Gunpla News, guys. Thank you so much for watching, as always. And I've got more than a bunch of stuff that I'm working on. I know a lot of you guys are waiting on my Tristan build series. I will be starting that very soon, I promise. I'm just really trying to finish up other stuff, and it's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of things that are keeping me busy. It's just life. You guys know I have very, very limited time to work on this stuff, so I'm trying to make the most of it that I can, just finishing up some other projects. And so I promise I will get to that Tristan build project very soon. Almost ready to start that, so just a little bit more patience. I promise I'll be there. Just hang on. Anyway, in the meantime, guys, hope you're having a good day. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.